Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be making 10 cards using the Spellbinders March 2022 card kit. And this card kit is called Have a Springy Day. So my cards are all about spring. So you'll see a lot of florals, you'll see some bunnies, and some beautiful pastel colors. I previously did an unboxing of this card kit, so if you want to see everything that's included, I will link to that video right here up in the top right hand corner. I will also put a link down in the description box below. And if you are interested in joining the Spellbinders Card Kit Club, I will have a link to the club in the description box of this YouTube video as well. To guarantee this kit, you will need to join by March 24th. Spellbinders now has a blackout window approximately 6 days before the first of the month when the new kit is released, and this means that nobody will be able to join the club during that blackout window. So you can join anytime from the first of the month until that blackout date. And in March, once again, it's March 24th. Now I do want to mention that if there are any kits left over, and this goes for card kits, it goes for the stamp of the month, the die of the month, all of their clubs, if there are any left over, they will put them for sale on their website and you can purchase them individually starting the month after the one that they are released. And I usually try to go back to my YouTube videos and my blog posts and update those links so that way you'll have those links in case you do want to just purchase an individual kit. Okay, so for this first card, I'm making a little bit of a scene. I had a piece of pink cardstock. That's the layer that the pattern papers are on. That pink cardstock measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I had the pattern paper of the clouds and the sun, and that one is 5 1/4 by 3. I layered that at the top of the pink cardstock. And then the green paper, which represents my grass, that's also part of the pattern paper pad, that is 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, and I put that towards the bottom. And then I'm just layering these ephemera pieces to make a cute little scene. So I have the two houses. I also have a little fence with a hat hanging on top and a little strip of flowers. So I'm putting them in front of the houses. I'm going ahead and putting the 3 chicks down there as well. And I stamped out this sentiment. This sentiment is from the stamp set included with the card kit, and I die cut it out using these mini slimline dies from Spellbinders. It's a stack of nesting dies for mini slimline cards, and one of the smaller dies from that set fits perfectly around that sentiment. So now I'm going to go ahead and add that layer to an A2 size card base, and that will complete my first card. So for my second card, I have this piece of yellow and white. It has white hearts on it. It's pattern paper, and I've cut that down to a 3 by 3 in size, and I'm just making a little bit of a scene on this yellow pattern paper. So I'm going to adhere the sun in the top right hand corner, and I am going to tuck it underneath the rainbow. I'll go ahead and add the rainbow right on top of that sun and in the middle of that 3 by 3 pattern paper. And then I'm going to add the clouds below the rainbow. There is a larger cloud and then a smaller cloud, so I'll add those there. And that square is going to go on top of this purple striped pattern paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to go towards the top center. And then I'm going to take the sheep and I'm going to add it to the top left like he's flying. I think that's super cute. And then I'm going to take that layer, I'm going to place it in my Misti, and I'm going to line up a stamp for the sentiment in that space towards the bottom. So this sentiment is going to say, "Hello, darling." So I'll just line that up and stamp that down with some black ink, and then I'm going to add that layer to a yellow solid piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'll add that to my A2 size card base. I'm going to add a few of the sequins from the sequin mix that's included in the card kit just to add a little bit of sparkle, and that will complete that card. Moving on to my third card, I'm using the Candlewick Ovals die set from Spellbinders, and I'm going to die cut it out of this pattern paper. I am layering the outside oval around that pattern die to cut the pattern out, and then I'm taking the oval by itself and I die cut a piece of the gold mirror cardstock. I'm going to layer the patterned oval on top of the gold mirrored cardstock. So that way, all of those little cutouts in that pattern paper, in that top oval, it will show through all of the cutouts. So you'll see as soon as I layer this on, you'll be able to see all of that gold through all of those little triangular cutouts of that piece. Next, I'm going to add that to a piece of purple cardstock that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I am going to add some of the flowers at the bottom of this oval. There are so many flower ephemera pieces in this card kit that I didn't even use them all. There's so many. So I added some at the bottom, and then I'm going to tuck some of these vases behind those flowers. There are 2 sheets of chipboard stickers that are included in the card kit, and I was going to use both of these that say grateful for you, but I just include the word grateful and I don't use the word for you. And then I'm going to add this layer to an A2 size card base. I do add some sequins off camera, and that completes that card. Moving on to my next card, I am going to create a little bit of a scene with the ephemera pieces that you see there laying on the table. So I have this yellow pattern paper. It measures 3 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I added that to the center of that floral print. And that floral pattern paper is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm just arranging all of these ephemera pieces to create a cute little scene. So I add a strip of the flowers down at the bottom. I do add a bunny behind the flowers, and I do add this little sign that says be happy, be bright, be you. I add some of the clouds and sun, and I will add a butterfly as well. I do want to mention, as you can see, I'm using some ephemera pieces that I've used in previous cards. There is 2 of each ephemera piece in this card kit. So that's why you see me using some of the same ephemera pieces as before, but just creating different scenes. So I did add that to an A2 size card base and added a few sequins on the top. So for my next card, I'm actually going to be using the dies that came in the card kit, and I show you what the dies look like here. They actually will die cut a bunny. You can make a bunny. You can also make a sheep. So you can see the ears, then there was a bunny face. And I'm going to start out by showing you how I put the bunny together, and using the white cardstock that I die cut out, the face and the ears, I'm just adding a little bit of gray ink to the edges just because I wanted to have a little bit of gray on the edges so that it didn't look so flat. I want to just have a little bit of depth to my bunny. Okay, so for the face, you can see the cutouts for the eyes, the nose, and the eyebrows. I'm just going to take a strip of black cardstock and I'm going to tape it down to the back of the bunny. And I'm just using the double-sided tape that's included in the kit to tape that down. Now, if you wanted to die cut the die again out of black cardstock and then just pop those eyes in, you can do that. You can do the same with the eyes and the nose using some pink or whatever other color cardstock you want to use. But I just cut some strips and I'm just taping them down to the back just like you see me doing. So I have a darker pink for the nose and I have a lighter pink cardstock for the cheeks. So again, just taping that down, and look how cute that is. So you can see that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the ears. So I have this larger ear in white, and then the right ear, it's actually folded down, like the ear is folded forward. So you see me working on the 2 pieces for the right ear right now. So I'm adding the pink layering piece on the white cardstock, and then this piece right here is actually the ear that's folded forward. So I'm just gluing that on, and then this piece is for the larger ear. I'm going to add that pink accent piece, and then I'm just going to put some glue at the very bottom of that ear and tuck it behind the head. And I'm going to do the same thing on the ear on the right. Just put a little bit of glue on the bottom and then tuck it behind the head. So there's the bunny, and now I'm going to work on the sheep. So it's the same face, So I'm going to do the face the same way. The only difference is you have this other piece for the top of the head. And what I love about that piece, as you saw, it looks like a cloud. So if you wanted to use that die for a cloud in the sky, you can totally do that. But it's actually for the top of the sheep's head. You can see it looks just like a cloud. So I went ahead and added all of my gray shading to the white areas. I did add the pieces behind the eyes, the nose, and the cheeks. And then I'm just adding the pink layering pieces to the white ears. And I'm doing that for both of them. And then I will just add a little bit of glue at the bottom and tuck those ears behind the head. I think these dies are super cute. You can actually use these dies that sheep can be used year round. I actually use it coming up real soon. You'll see to make a Hello Little One card. You'll see you can use it for a welcome baby card. Okay, so here is a chipboard frame. It came in the card kit. I'm just going to add that to this pattern paper. This pattern paper is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to layer up some of these flowers. Put one here in the center. And then I'm going to add my bunny right inside that frame. I am going to take all of the backing off of that double-sided tape, and then I'm just going to add some glue. So that bunny fits perfectly in the center of that frame. And then there's also this little flower die. So I die cut that out of some pattern paper, and the center is out of purple, and I just put that there on his ear. And I was going to use this happy and make it a happy Easter card, but I chose just to use the chipboard that says lovely and add that to the top right hand corner. And then I add this to a A2 size card base, and that completes my bunny card. So now I'm moving on, and I am going to complete the card with the sheep. I die cut 2 circles using some circle dies, a larger one out of white and a smaller one out of the pattern paper that you see there. I go ahead and remove the backing off of that double-sided tape and then add some glue to the back of the sheep and add it right to the top of the circle. I will add that to the pink pattern paper. That pink paper measures 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm just going to add some flowers there at the bottom of that oval. I'm going to start with 2 of the leaves and then put a flower in the center. I do use these gold glitter puffy stickers, and I went ahead and added the words little one to the bottom of that card front, and then I die cut some gold cardstock using the Hello die that came with this card kit, and I added that towards the top so it says Hello Little One. And then I'm going to add this to an A2 size white card base. And that's going to complete this card. So moving on to my next card, I had a piece of gold mirror cardstock. I cut it down to measure 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I'm adding it to a white A2 size card base. I did cut the center out just so that I can save that gold mirror cardstock for another project. And then I'm adding on top of that this piece of pattern paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I die cut a heart out of a heart die that I have out of the gold mirror cardstock. I added that to the center, the top center of that card, and then I layered on the heart ephemera piece that came in the card kit, and I'm also going to add on some of these flowers off to the left of the heart. I will add the bird ephemera piece. I'm just going to pop him up using some of these foam dots, and then I will add the bird to the center of the heart. For the sentiment, I'm adding the words Hello Lovely from the puffy stickers. And I do add a heart next to the word lovely, and that will complete my card. For my next card, I have a piece of purple pattern paper that measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then I have a piece of white cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4. I die cut 2 circle dies out of the top of the white cardstock. Those 2 circles measure, I have one that's 2 inches and one that's 2.5 inches. I'm going to start by adding the pattern paper directly to the card base. Next, I'm going to take the white with the circle cutouts and I'm going to add a sentiment in the lower right hand corner. Just going to line that up and then I'm going to stamp that out. The sentiment says, "Hope this makes you smile." So just stamp that with some black ink. Next, I will add that white cardstock to the top of my card base, so right on top of that pattern paper. I don't glue too close around the circles because I know I'm going to tuck these ephemera pieces in a little bit inside the circle. For the sheep, I do cut the bow off so that I can tuck him in. That bow was a little bit too long and it extended beyond the actual card layer, so I had to cut that off. And you can see I just tucked the bunny so that it's close to the edge of the circle as well as the sheep, so it looks like they're peeking out of those circles. For my next card, I die cut this purple cardstock using an A2 layering die from Spellbinders. I'm going to add that to the front of this purple floral pattern paper. The purple paper measures 4 by 5¼ inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer the ephemera pieces on the card front. So I have some of the flowers. I'm going to put one on the left as well as on the right side of the basket of lemons. The basket of lemons will go right there in the middle. I'm making sure that I do not glue down the top of that floral on the right side because I'm going to tuck that bunny's head right underneath it like the bunny is peeking out of the flowers. So I'll go ahead and add the basket right to the center. And I'm also going to add this extra little lime piece like it's falling out of the basket. I'll add that there at the bottom. I'm going to bring in the 3 chicks and put that there at the bottom as well. I'm going to add a butterfly to the top left-hand corner of the card layer. I'm going to stamp out a sentiment. The sentiment says, "Hope this makes you smile." So just line it up and stamp it out. I will add this layer to a yellow piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I'll add that to an A2 size card base. Now I do want to mention when I was adding this to the card base, as I'm pressing it down to hold it, my sentiment smeared because my ink was still wet. So nevertheless, I just stamped it out on some white cardstock and trimmed it down, and I'm just lining up the edge of that rectangle with the purple cardstock and just adding it right on top. I did add some sequins to the top of this card, and I just love all of the beautiful details in this card. For my next card, I cut a piece of pattern paper to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I just put it in my paper trimmer and I'm just trimming it at a diagonal. So I'm lining up the top right corner and the bottom left hand corner in the trimmer and then just trimming it down. So here is a piece of gold mirror cardstock cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm doing the same exact thing. So next I'm going to take these 2 corners and I'm going to layer the pattern, just offset it a little bit from this gold mirror cardstock, and then I will add that to the top left hand corner of this white card base. I'm not worried about any gold showing on the straight edge because these flowers are going to cover up that edge. So I just have a little bit of gold peeking out on the left and top of that pattern paper, and then I'm going to glue down all of these floral ephemera pieces right along that diagonal line. I die cut the word hello out of gold mirror cardstock and I'll add it to the bottom right hand corner of my card front, and that's going to complete my card. So here are all of the 10 cards that I created using the Spellbinders March 2022 card kit. If you're interested in joining the Spellbinders Club or any of their clubs, I will have links down in the description box of this YouTube video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more card making inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and have a great day. Bye-bye.